Russia has reportedly found huge oil deposits in Antarctica. This claim was made by the Rosgeo Oil exploration company, and it has raised concern among environmentalists and also in the British Parliament because the alleged discovery are believed to have been made in polar territories claimed by the UK, no less. Let's bring in Shirli Sitbon from our news desk. Hello to you, Shirley. These environmental aspects of the news, drilling for oil was banned in Antarctica. Is there a risk to see this precautionary measure overturned?
Well, there's always a risk, although, of course, there's this 1976 treaty that puts a moratorium on the exploration and on the exploitation of minerals in Antarctica. And Russia is committed to this moratorium and to this treaty. But we've seen this in the past in other areas which have used to be protected. We've even seen this in Alaska in some areas that were protected where now there is drilling. Yes, that's a risk. And you can think of everything that could be found in Antarctica, since it's basically a huge territory with potentially huge oil fields never exploited before. So yes, of course, many countries are thinking about it. And Russia, well, the moratorium bans the exploration, but it allows, scientific research, and it's under that that the Russians have been going for years across Antarctica and using seismic surveys to find out if there is a potential oil field beneath. These images are of Vladimir Putin, but not from Antarctica, but from the Arctic Circle, where Russia is already exploiting various fields. But yes, now the idea is is seeing what's underneath in case things change. And this is allowed in Antarctica as well. And that way, well, these exploration companies, oil exploration companies, know where the oil fields may be. They can deepen their research and maybe be able to exploit this in the future. And this is, of course, a major risk because we're already extremely concerned. There's global warming. It's going very fast, in Antarctica. We've seen this as a major threat, and there's always already so difficult to slow down warming if you start exploring there, and it can only make things worse. So of course everybody is concerned about this. All people interested in the environment.
Yeah, environmental risk very clear. But for some people that might live far away, they might say Antarctica, far-flung part of the world. This doesn't concern me. There's no geopolitical consequences. But experts say there are, even with ties to the war in Ukraine. Tell us about that.
Yes, of course, there are always links. Antarctica may be far away, but we've seen this so many times in recent years when we talked about global warming, how everything's interconnected, of course. But yeah, there is a geopolitical aspect in this because since the war in Ukraine, there's been really a turnaround in the policies because, until now, there was this idea of all the countries coming together, at least in appearance, to work to protect the environment. Well, that is over now. Since the war in Ukraine, there's been growing tension around the polar areas for that, for exploiting oil and energy and minerals. In the past, in recent years, some countries have tried to expand the areas that are protected in Antarctica, and Russia and China have blocked those efforts. So yes, there is growing concern around this. And so now, there's a fear that, the various tensions in the world will also impact the environment and make the fight to fight global warming, make it more difficult. It has that impact as well.
All right, Shirley. Shirley, thank you very much. Shirli Sitbon from our news desk.